What's up, guys?
Nelly, what's up?
KJ, what's up? Coach Game, what's up?
How we doing?
Awesome. Y'all in the same office?
We sure are.
Nice.
Hello.
Gula crew over there. I love it. Hey, we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm just gonna get into some stuff, small group today, but it'll be neat to just have it recorded and we can go back. Love y'all's perspective too, after the fact, if you see any shortcuts or some different ways. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways we could do this. Just for reminder for us all, these are the things that all this was built on. Here's what we're trying to get to. We got the Performance Hub for us in Performance World. We got sport coaches. They have their thing as well. Trying to connect everybody. What I want to go through today is the exact setup. And this is where I'll rely on you guys to give me some feedback on this. But this is like the nuts and bolts of how it's set up. And there's probably more efficient ways, but this is kind of how I've started. So initially, like, I want to talk about folder structure, some data flows, dashboards, publishing, and then an automatic refresh. It's been successful here over the past little bit. So hopefully it'll work for us. So I'm just going to share my screen. And like I said, I really would appreciate you guys, any feedback that you may see. All right, so we will be working out of, where's my ski team? Our off-piste ski team. And I'm not going to spend too much time just kind of giving it fluff, but we all know that this is a fictitious team. This data is not real. So what we're going to show is our dashboard that we have. And this is what we showed in the past, where we have our resort information. We have some dynamic information that coaches could potentially sort through if they were looking to make decisions. And we can even have add-on visuals that are really dynamic for things like recruiting, things like, mapping. You could go a lot of different ways. One of the things that recently built, and I want to make sure that I have this. So here's some different things. I want to build a dashboard from scratch. And I'm going to try to do this within the next 27 minutes using data flows. All right. So again, all fictitious information, nothing on here is giving away competitive advantage. So our folder structure in every one of our teams, we're trying to organize it under applied health and performance science, files, and then tech and data systems. And that's just the start. Like, you guys that use it a lot may come up with a better way, and we can do that. But just as we started, they're all the same. All right, database. So now within database, we have essentially folder structures for each one of the data streams that we have. Okay. So then within each one of these, what I want to do is to create a data flow. So a data flow is essentially a automatic flow of information where it's pulling the data from the source into Power BI service at the cloud level, and it's cleaning it, transforming the data the way we like it, and then it's available for whoever needs it. So if we get that set, KJ or Adam, if you guys are trying to do a quick analysis, you just tap into data flows and you can pull it down really quickly. And then you don't have to worry about cleaning. You don't have to do anything. It's really, really clean. All right. So just all these different sets of information. I have already started this. Of course. get my Duo. So what I'll do is I will log into powerbi.com. And then I'm going to log on with my Penn State ID. And then it's going to take me right to where I am, where I need to be. Over here in workspaces, in this little tab right here, we've started to set up workspaces for each individual team. Okay. And this is really neat because it helps us stay organized. So this one I've just got in our classroom tab, and this is our ski team. You can see this is a data flow. So pulling information in. I've already done it with some fake CMJ data here. So I'm going to make a data flow with some just dummy catapult data that I just clicked on. So to do that, I go to the source that I was at. So in our case, teams. I'm going to click on, let's say catapult data. So because you think about the way catapult is structured, you know, other things may be this way too. Force plate data, Nordboard data is not as difficult because it's just one spreadsheet and I just add at the bottom. So it makes it really, really seamless. So if I'm going to do it with force plate data with ForceDex or Hawken, I find wherever the file is and I come in here and I hit open in app. So now I have this set of data coming up and I've named it for some of the skiers, just fake skiers, well, real skiers, but fake data. Now, once I open this, I come up to file and hit undo or info, I'm sorry, and copy path. Now I'm going to go to Power BI service and I go to new. And then this is being videoed too, so we'll have this for you, everybody. I come down here to data flow. Define new tables. Add new table. Now, this is the neat thing, and just for our future, we have so many different ways we can bring information in. You know, we don't need all these things, but we're going to come down to Web API. I'm going to click on Web API, and then up here at URL, I'm just going to paste with Control V function the location of that file. Then I'm going to backspace. This is the important thing, and this is, you'll pull your hair out if you forget this. You have to delete this last little section of the URL. The question mark web equals 1, that has to go. After that, make sure you're on organizational account and then sign in. Click. And then now it's pulling because everything is nice and clean in Microsoft. It's cleaning, or it's pulling that information up into the cloud. And then now if you've used Power BI and like transform data, this is essentially Power Query Editor. Right there. So now once I make changes, and if you use Power BI desktop dashboard, all we had to do is change it the exact same way. And it comes in and it makes the change for me. And then I hit save and close. Boom, 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 boom. And then now I can name my data flow. Super, super simple. It's cleaned one time and you never have to do that again. All right, I just wanted to show that one. That one is with a, that one is just with a file. I've already got that one made. So don't save, don't save. I don't want to spend time and redo that one. I've already got that one made with the CMJ data right here. So we'll upload that here in just a second. But now what I want to do is something a little bit more complex. I want to pull some catapult data. So you think about CMJ data from Vault, from ForceDex. So if I'm testing KJ, if Mark is over with you guys testing your men's ice hockey guys, and then next week he comes back, he just takes that information from the export and puts it at the bottom of the spreadsheet. And then it's already in the data flow. So it just kind of seamlessly brings it up. When you think about catapult, Catapult, every single activity has its own file. So there's one more step that we got to do, and that's what I want to show now. But they're pretty much the same. All right, so again, we're back to the file structure. Think about this as like our elementary version of a database for free. Okay, so I'm going to come to Catapult database, and instead of clicking on it, I'm going to go to these dots. And I'm going to click on the dots, and I'm going to hit open in SharePoint. Now I have this. It's open in SharePoint. I'm just going to go up to the top of the bar, and I'm going to copy the URL. Don't fall prey to this copy link button. Don't do that. It's a trap. Click the URL. Now go to Power BI. Same process. New, data flow. Add new tables. And then we're going to go to SharePoint folder. It's very much logic. Just talk yourself through it. What are you trying to source from? Then in this site URL, I'm going to hit Control V. And if you remember from the past, we deleted some of the back end, like the prefix of the URL. In this case, I'm going to delete a little bit more. This is called the root folder. I'm just going to take everything where it says my team. So like Adam, it would say like PSU men's soccer, KJ women's ice hockey, whatever team that you would be associated and working off of, that would be here. And then I'm basically going to delete. It'll get exciting here in a second once I get this set. I'm going to delete all of this junk. Somewhat intimidating to do that, but we're going to do that. Make sure I'm in position. What's up?
Here's a question. How do you delete going the opposite way?
I just put it in the thing here and hit the delete button as opposed to backspace.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It's there's probably 1,000 ways you could do that. Whatever fits your fancy.
Okay. I've just never seen deleting go that way. Very unimportant for this
No, it is. It
session,
is.
but
All right. Make sure we're in an organizational account and hit sign in. Click our name. And then we'll hit next. Now, because it's a folder and not a file, you see all the files over here that we have. So now all I have to do is find the folder where it is. So I'm going to go transform data. And I just want to delete all this other junk that's over here, like this PNG that's a picture. You know, this thing, the health and wellness lesson 4 on marijuana, that's not obviously an Excel file. It's a teaching lesson. So what I'm going to do, just think about your basics of filtering like in Excel. I'm just going to go through and click the ones that I don't need. I'm basically just looking for the Catapult files. And they're at the end. So I'm just going to deselect all these. Most likely it's going to be the last one. Nope. We're getting there. Nope. And the problem that I haven't figured out yet is the file names here are so long, I can't find the source. So I've had to just kind of piddle around until I find that here. This is one thing I need to improve on. Okay, so now we've got it. Just need to delete this one, most likely. Now we have our 2 sessions. So now imagine, so these are just some fake catapult sessions. So now I can see like January 23rd, 2022, downhill ski preps training session, CSV. I know it's catapult, you know, for soccer, for hockey, for football, for basketball, anybody that had multiple ones of these, it could be like hundreds long. But now I'm going to work to combine these. So all I have to do now is hit these 2 down arrows right here. And that stands for combined files. Now you do want to make sure that they are identical headers, because if you try to combine things that are just out of whack, it's going to give you a bunch of errors. In this case, they're both just CSVs pulled from Catapult, so we know they're accurate and not identical. So they're going to combine our files. You can see standard CSV. I got my players over here, my metrics, and I'm just going to go okay. Now, just like any time that I would be working in Power BI, I'm just going to come up here and I start to organize my information. So I can take out the blanks. I can promote headers. And it's pretty smart now. So you just got to make sure it doesn't get too far ahead of you. It'll try to change some different things for you. Most of the time it's right, but just keep in mind that there's some headers down here. You know, I'm about to take out here. There's some headers way down there that still say like day name. So it could give you an error down the line. So let's just make sure we're good. Oh, good. I think we're pretty good. So we've got all of our information here. This could go on for as many files as you have. So then you could come in here and start to organize. You change all your data types at this point. You make sure your dates are correct. You make sure your decimal numbers are correct. You can come in here and choose columns. Let's, for this example, just come in and just choose a couple. Player name, period number, date, and let's just grab player load, max velo, max acceleration, just to make it super grossly simple. So now I've got the session that it came from, the player name, I just named them numbers, the period name. So like if we slice this up, like activation, warm up, things of that nature, positions, date, and so forth. So now all I have to do is hit save close. I'm going to have to name it here coming up on the next screen. So we'll just call this, ski team catapult data. Save. Success. We did not do anything wrong. So we got that. So now we have our ski team catapult data. And then I typically do like to come in here, and then I'm going to click on this little button right here, schedule refresh. So now I'm going to come in and hit schedule refresh, turn on daily. We can legit put it at any time of day, but we're in the Eastern time zone. Let's just say we want it to refresh overnight. Well, so now what that's going to do, every night at 11:30 p.m., it's going to go into that Microsoft Teams folder and it's going to look for new information. If more files have been dropped in there, it's going to push it to the cloud. It's going to take it, it's going to add it to the bottom of the other files, and it's going to make the changes that we made in terms of changing data type and removing columns, all that crap that we would have to do every single time. It's going to do it automatically. So we've got scheduled refreshes for each of those.
Nelly, I've got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
If, let's say I've got a sport where the practice time changes, can you go in and have multiple refresh times? Like, let's say I've got to practice at 3 one day, but 4 the next day, or 2 p.m. on a Saturday. So could you go in and set it to where I could have it available after practice to push out to coaches?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Here we
you
go.
see kind of how I'm
Look
doing
at
it.
this.
Like I
Yep.
read, I've not done more than 2. On a
Uh-huh.
couple of them, I put one late at night and then one in the mid morning
Mhm.
for just like what you're talking about. But I read somewhere that you may have only 8 that you can set.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's accurate with our Penn State. Let's just try. Now, I will say the more you have, okay, so it's allowing me to do a ton of them. Oh, no.
Mhm.
We have access to 8 refreshes
Okay.
and I can hit reply. Now, here's the thing. I've created a lot of these over the past months.
Mhm.
And every time one fails, I get an email. So if something happened to this, and they don't fail all the time, but
Mhm.
there's like a message that comes through and it'll
Mhm.
still work, but I will get 8 emails if this one fails tomorrow. So I think just being cognizant of that, and we
Yeah.
probably don't need it as frequently as we think sometimes. So we
Mhm.
can keep it down. So now here's one thing too. Let's say I just want to keep it at 11. That's my daily dashboard. It's just going to go. What I can do is if practice changed and I need to go, all I have to do to force it to refresh is hit this button.
Okay.
So I could log on and go boom, and it automatically refreshes, and you can see it working right there.
Perfect.
So that's
What-
data flows. So
You mentioned like sometimes the refresh will fail. Is there like a consistent like reason that you found,
I have trouble with
like in quick
duration
checks?
on Catapult. Duration is giving me fits right now.
Yeah.
I'll convert it in data flows to duration, and it is the thing that most frequently triggers an error.
Gotcha. So if like even one column is wrong, it'll trigger an error.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But that's at least
And
probably an easy
sometimes
fix.
it works, yeah. And sometimes it gives an error and it works.
Yeah.
So I don't freak out, very much still in the learning mode with it. But duration, things like that, that's what's triggered me more than any.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So just within 7 minutes, I want to show you now the power and what we can do. Let's say we spend our time and our efforts making all of our data flows. Now I have a question come to mind, and I don't have a lot of time to clean data, bring it in. Just open up Power BI, hit get data, and go down to more. And here, type data flow. Power BI data flows. Connect. Now, on yours, whatever ones you have created or whatever ones we've created together that we both have access to, you'll start to have a running list here. So I go into Classroom. Here's my CMJ data flow. Here's my Catapult data flow. So if I want to bring in CMJ data flow, boom, boom, load. And then now all that information is right here. I can quickly come over. Boom. I can go athlete, bottom, and boom. Here's my power. Boom. Done. Really quickly. And then now, like we've done in the past, I could publish this. So we're gonna have to save this. I'm not spending too much time on the on design. I'm not really caring if it works, if it looks pretty right now, just kind of operations. So like, let's say I had a question come to mind, or a coach asked me something, return to play. What did Lindsey Vaughn, in terms of power, have on whatever day? Or what did she look like over the past few exposures? So now I can come in and get some information on Lindsey Vaughn over her past jumps. Then whoever's in teams, remember, I can publish this right to my classroom or wherever my place is. Success. Got it. Now I go to teams. And let's say this is truly a return to play thing and you're working with your athletic trainer. Could put this in sports medicine because it's locked. I don't want everybody to have access to it. I can go into sports medicine and I can put Power BI, go into my classroom. Sample was the one I just created. And then boom. So now athletic trainers, sports medicines, team docs can come in here. They have Lindsey Vaughn's metrics over the past multiple days. And then that's clean. You could have a conversation over here. Say, hey guys, athlete showed improvement during the second testing opportunity. Well, now you have a dialogue over here. You're playing cards up. Everybody's seeing what you're seeing and talking about. Now, in 3 minutes, what I want to do is show how we set full automatic refreshes. All right, so now the way we've got it here, you still have to go into here and hit refresh. We don't want to do that. We've gone to the trouble of doing our Power BI data flows. That is set on an automatic refresh. We've gone to the trouble of making this pretty visual. All we want to do now is collect our information and go about our business and use the data. So we've already published, get out of here, go back to Power BI service. Remember, our data flow, we've already got set as a refresh. Our catapult data, we've already got it set as a refresh. So now the only thing we have to do is to go to this data set and schedule it to refresh. And I have typically been putting it about 30 minutes after the data flow reset. So now data flow can take its time, get done, then the data set will trigger. And then now when you go back to your visual, this will be automatic refresh. You don't have to do anything. Then if you have a coach that's like, oh, my tablet didn't refresh at all, this button right there on theirs will show up, and it's just like hitting the reload on Windows Explorer or Chrome, something like that. So that in a nutshell is how you make a data flow, how you publish it to teams, and how you trigger automatic information to come through and you don't really have to refresh anything. So any thoughts, Adam, or like areas you think that we can?
Perfect. That's exactly kind of like where I was at, like in the team's process. I started like playing around a little bit on my own, trying to figure it out, but that was perfect. I mean, you put it pretty simply. So I'm definitely going to have to go back and rewatch, but that was great. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't simple for you to figure out, but I think you made it simple for all of us to understand and be able to do on our own.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be neat because it'll take some time to develop, but once we get it all developed, it'll be as simple as just drive your technology, upload it, and then now everybody sees your information. You're not making PDFs, you're not printing stuff out and emailing it. It's all right there for everybody.
Have your conversation right there in the same system, same app. I'll be looking at the data and talking about it at the same time. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited now that I know exactly the process
And
how to do it. Excited to get it built.
There's a couple things too that I'll show you kind of offline when we're not recording. I've got some templates already made that you can steal and adjust however you want.
Yeah.
and we'll just throw them all into the hub so everybody can benefit from them.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Hey, man, I
Perfect.
appreciate you always.
Yeah, I appreciate you. This was huge. I'm like buzzing now. I can't wait to get started.
Yeah,
on
this
it.
is
Yeah.
this is gonna be cool. I appreciate you, KJ, and Diaz was on
Yeah.
here a second ago, and my man Dan Vasey. Appreciate you guys.
Always. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's catch up soon.
Yep. I'll be over hopefully today.
Okay,
Pick that up. So, all right.
sounds good. All right, man. See you.
Thank you. Yep. Bye.